What it do, guys? What it do? All right, I'm live now. Send it out. That link there. Anyways, I can't sleep, and I've been drawing. And if I'm whispering a little bit or something like that, it's just because kids are next door in the other room. But put one of their this it's called it's called a nugget or something, and it's like this foam thing, and you know I just put it against the door, my door, make sure that my voice doesn't carry over. But I can't even show you what I'm drawing right now, but I'm doing stuff with anatomic, and I thought I'd just show the site here while I was drawing live, I guess. But I've been up this whole time and can't sleep, and not getting really that tired of drawing. And also, I'm like kind of my mind is racing because I'm writing a story, and then I sent it out to some people to like kind of workshop it around because it's in that editing mode. It's in the editing phase, and so I'm just thinking constantly about that. Excited about that, just kind of moving forward with that outline. And then I kept thinking about it, and I one of my friends, he mentioned something about it, and then kind of gave the impression in the story about something I totally forgot to add to it. But anyways, so I'm just really, I was like excited about that, and just got to get all this stuff done. And I was up, and I was like, why don't I just go live? But I can't even show you what I'm drawing here. But yeah, but it looks like Anatomic is doing well. $73,000 now. That's awesome. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, there's my some pages there. It's really cool that it's colored. I'm like really excited about that. I'm like seeing the pages colored. Like Shane showed me like a bunch of about about but the first 7 pages I worked on, all full colored and everything, and then one really cool page that I liked a lot that was kind of skipped ahead, like page 15. But the colors look really great in it, and I'm really excited. And it just like, it's like it doesn't even do it much justice. When you look at it when it's printed, it finally like looks amazing. But yeah, so these are looking really great. These pages here, and these are the Hero Cons covers that just came out, and yeah, and here's my cover. I was at went on vacation for about, well, kind of a vacation. It was kind of a work vacation, and needed to bring my iPad. And I have all the same programs that I work on my Cintiq over here. And there wasn't much of a workspace at my mother-in-law's house. So, and so I had to and I totally forgot to get one of my, I have like this props up the iPad so I can, you know, so I had to like hold it up the entire time while I was drawing on the kitchen table. I just didn't prepare for it, but managed to get 2 covers done that 2 weeks, and I was trying to get some more pages done, but it just wasn't happening. But I got this page, I got this cover done in about 2-3 days or so, sitting there in my kitchen. So that was fun. So I was starting sitting in my mother-in-law's kitchen, and while everybody was gone, and just drew that out. But yeah, managed to get that there. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah. There was just like something about just, And I wanted to be home. I wanted to be on that Cintiq. It would just get done much faster. How uncomfortable it was just sitting on that chair and drawing this, but I did it. I managed to get it all done. Yeah. Let's see. And this was the other cover I worked on. So this was like two layers, one rune there in the background, and then gun in the front. And that was really cool that he gave me that opportunity to work on that cover there. But yeah, so that was cool. So yeah, just really excited about this whole campaign. Really glad that it's doing really, really well. I'd be a part of it and everything, and then um, excited to get my own story out soon. You know, again, still in the workshopping phase, still in the editing phase, and man, when I sent that out, I sent it out to like 3 people, and holy crap, I'm just so nervous, like because I just want to see what people are going to think about it. Let's see here. Yeah. Anyways, maybe I can show. Let's see here. Got a. Let me share this tab instead here. So I was doing this. I was sending this out. I was like taking a little break, and I was scrolling through Twitter, and then I saw this. Whitney Cummings. I guess she's sitting down with Bill Maher, and she's talking about. Let's see. Hold on. It says, "I've always been a very liberal person, maybe even a libtard. But once you have a kid, you start having thoughts that have been characterized as conservative, even wanting a gun." And this was very interesting to me because all of her friends started making that pivot over to, you know, Texas and, Joe Rogan and Tony and all that kind of stuff. And she's kind of in that crowd. And I noticed a couple of things, a couple times that I saw her on Kill Tony even years ago, where she was making a lot of jabs at conservatives and Texans and, whatever. And she was doing it because she's just, she's a liberal. And that's her crowd. And that's the audience she plays to. It's fine. But she kept doing that. And I'm like, obviously the jokes weren't working. They weren't landing. She was bombing. And, but, she stuck to her guns, like whatever. And then just little by little, there was some times like where she was popping up there on Kill Tony and trying to kind of get the crowd kind of on her side, but just bombing the entire time. And there was like a couple of other times, like little clips here and there that she kind of did what a lot of liberals are doing right now. They're just kind of, poking fun, making little jabs, not making, big inroads, but they are just like little things I noticed. And that they were sort of telling her that, almost like, this is it. I guess she didn't want to, like, she didn't go kind of full over, into her leftist, but she's made a lot of, comments and passive aggressive stuff, and made some comments here and there that I've always heard over the years. And I never cared for the comedy, never cared for anything, but just seeing these little things here and there where she had that CNN interview, and she's kind of just roasting them the whole time. And this was after the election, and there was stuff before the election. She was showing up on Kill Tony. She made a couple comments here and there. And I think that she kind of was like feeling the pressure a little bit. So I think, so my whole comment here was that, like, is she suddenly noticing that woke crap doesn't make anyone laugh? It's like, no, she's just adapting to a new audience. And because again, when it was dominated by liberal identity politics, because I think that's just, again, I don't know a lot about Whitney Cummings, but I think that's how she got her whole start there. I mean, it's like when it was fashionable, when it was a thing, when it was, she went all into it. And now that the audiences are burnt out on that and they're turning towards a more anti-woke or more conservative humor, that's what it feels like. It's just a pivot. And so this is just another one. When I saw this video, I'm like, she's talking about her kid. And I do believe that kids, when you do have them, it does make you pivot over to certain things. It's like, I remember my friend where he was a total lib, and then he was working at a bank and started getting a paycheck, and that kind of turned him over, where he started noticing the taxes and all that kind of stuff, like little things. Then he started becoming more of a conservative when it came to taxes and stuff, but he was still like socially liberal, and then eventually, like little by little, I helped him, see the light, and see the degeneracy and see all that kind of stuff with leftist stuff. And this is just, but again, I, this is just one of those things where I'm like, oh, it's just a pivot, because again, if you ask her all these other questions, nothing about her. I hope no one's like saying that she's a conservative now because of this, or she's like now on their side. I don't think they are. I just mean that I'm just noticing this as a pivot. This is like she's pivoting, and I I think about that Silicon Valley episode where they're I think it was like towards the end of this first season, their app or their idea was not working, or it was failing, and they were going to lose all this money and lose all this whatever. I don't forget what it was, and one of the characters, and he played the son of the CEO of like starting in like season 7 of Saber. I forgot his name. He was just tall, skinny guy, and he was in Silicon Valley, and he just goes, "We need to pivot. We need to pivot." So that's what I just see with Whitney Cummings right now. It's that she's just pivoting, just like a lot of the comedians. Like a lot of the comedians there. They're still very socially liberal, but they're doing all the anti-woke stuff. They're doing all the conservative stuff. They're leaning all that to that audience. And that's what I always thought about with comedians. It's like they know their audience. They know the towns, they're performers. They're gonna know, you know, which audiences are gonna like what jokes and stuff and whatnot. And so anyways, I just saw that like that. So I just was looking at this as what it was. It was just pivoting over to it. And because I was like, why would somebody already secure in the system start signaling a shift? Because she became a mom, but plenty of leftist moms stay the course, right? So this is me just being, I don't know, cynical or not looking at it as a sincere thing, because she'll say what sells. She has been. She was doing that up until just recently, when everybody's making the shift. All these comedians making a shift right now. So, but I believe that when the crowd turns again, when the culture shifts back over, she'll just go right back to that. You see it all over the place. So that was my taking a break and looking at Twitter and putting a tweet out there. So what I got to do now, I got to get on social media. I got to do that, and it's been tough. It's been tough. Just I want to take the time. I just want to comment on a couple things, but you got to keep it up. No, I don't know. But anyways, let's see. Where's that other thing there? Let me see. Let's go back to anatomic. Yeah. Just put that link in the chat there. Got 12 people. Got 12 people watching. Gotta put that link. Put that link in the chat. Did I do it? Did. It doesn't go to X? It doesn't go to Twitter? Man, you get a premium and I guess why would it? There's no chat over there. Let's see. That one's up right now. Sent the link out there. I don't know. Maybe someone will pop on. I don't know. But anyways, what else I'm going to do with like this drawing? I want to draw. When I was doing my Sister Suprema and all that kind of stuff, and um, I was drawing live. Chuck gave me free reign with that, and even with Graham when I was working on Joe um, Joe Frankenstein, I I wasn't sure. Like I would just post little updates here and there. I didn't sign anything, sign anything or whatever. But I haven't talked to Shane about posting anything, but just like little snippets, like nothing giving it away. But Graham wanted me to post like full on pages. I was like, what? What? Yeah, okay. Call me like you're being a tease or something. You know, just show the whole thing. Just show um the whole page there. But I was like, okay, all right, I'll show the whole page. But Shane doesn't say anything or not say anything, but keep it under wraps here, and I'll probably ask. I don't know. Maybe you'll hear this, and then you'll email me and you'll tell me. But yeah, these pages are good enough. So we get later in the campaign, we'll probably see more. But this was cool. This panel, well, maybe I can blow it up a little bit more here. Now you can't really see it, but the first panel there, yeah, like how I was, because he's a little person, little guy, a dwarf, midget. Yeah, I had to. I was like, I wanted to get really like. I mean, who do you reference a lot, right? I mean, just like how much reference is there for Peter Dinklage or what's the actor? Bad Santa. What is it? Tony Cox. I mean, how much reference? I did look them up to see, just to kind of get a view, and then like I'll do things like I'll look up, like trying to find like midget walking, dwarf walking, or something in business suit. I don't know. And then if you look up midget in business suit or something, you get like the one thing, and and I could draw it in that perspective or that view, but knowing me, I got to do low angles, high angles. I got to do all these different things. It just stress me out or whatever, because I'm like, how am I going to do that? But anyways, so I had my son, who's 3, but when I was drawing this, he was 2, and had him wear. We had my oldest. He's 5. He has like a little suit jacket. I had him wear that, so it's a little baggy, and I just wanted to see, when he puts his arms up and he puts his arms down and all that kind of stuff. And then I gotta, kind of add the different structure, let's just say, with the body structure of a little person, of a midget, and how they move and whatnot. And so I was really studying this, and like I've said in a previous thing with Maestro Suprema, the villain is a midget. In that one, it's a reveal. And so I was already working on that, like how I'm going to draw the body and how I'm going to, do that and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, let me just put this coat on my son, and then just have him just do poses, put his arms up and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you've ever directed kids, with photos, okay, but so a lot of photos. Just gotta keep taking those. Gotta see something, do this, yeah, you hold this pen, it's like a cigar, do like a cigar, or something like that. Put your hands together like this, and let me see. And so that's what I did here. And then that little pinky swear thing, put his pinky up there at the end with a little T, last panel. You can see right there. That was just, I had to do that. Could get my son to, I don't know, how does it look? Put your look back and lean over your chair. But yeah, but that you know, got to do whatever you can do. Use everything at your disposal to try to get the shot. You know, to get what you need. And me, it's just like, I could just sit there and draw. I could probably get it because, like, a part of a lot of being a comic book artist is just like, okay, it's not getting it to look 100% accurate, because comics were, how did Chuck put it? He was like, Chuck put it like, it's like gritty, it's fast, it's like you got to get it done. And John Buscema, he put the erasers away, put the fucking eraser down. That's what he would say. And so a lot of it isn't about just getting it all perfect. And I know I could sit there and do that, but I'm just like, I get all this anxiety. I get all this like, no, I gotta, how's the shoulder look? How does it look? How does it look in the suit? How does it do this stuff? And I gotta, just relying too much on reference, just relying too much on it, not trying to memorize or something like that. But I'm learning a lot from the old, because like I was always doing reference and always doing all this stuff, just taking photo, drawing from the photo, and everything, and then you learn from the old comic book artists. You learn from the greats and stuff that yeah, they use reference, they use whatever, they use all sorts of stuff, but a lot of it was like fast. It's like fast. You gotta remember. You gotta know how to do this. You gotta do that. But I don't know. It's all, I don't know. It's not just like a written in stone. You don't have to do that. But anyways, so that's how I do it. I just kind of try to, braids got to look right on, on Anatomic's hair here and the shirt and all that kind of stuff. So I'll get dolls. I'll play with dolls. I get mannequins, get little, little dolls or something like that. Like right here. No, I don't. Why are they? So I got these little doll heads or something like that. Stuff like that. Or let's see. So the body's like this. Looks like a Barbie doll, but this wasn't a Barbie doll. See, it's got all this here. And so I'll sit here and just move this around, draw from it, use my reference, do all that kind of stuff. Try to get it just right. Use whatever you can at your disposal, whatever you can. And to get that, I'll just try to get that right. And then, yeah, with these scenes here, I watched a lot of MMA stuff. I was watching a lot of female MMA fighters and all that kind of stuff, just trying to see the moves and everything and whatnot, and trying to get a good choreograph. And I take a long time just stressing over each panel, trying to figure out like what is the best thing. And I'll kind of zoom through it, and I'll just kind of get the storyboard done and send it off to Shane, But then I'll tell him, I'm like, okay, no, I need to keep doing this. I need to try that again. I was thinking about it after a while, And what are your best thinking places? Mine's like in the shower. I'll just stand there and I'm like thinking of a scene, and I'm like, I gotta go back and redraw this or something. A lot of bathroom thinking. But anyways, but yeah, so this was fun. I just had to draw, like, make sure that she's fast and all that kind of stuff. So I like this little the speed lines here, and the what's that called? It's like because her head's right here, and then it zooms over right there in the third panel as she tries to kick. But it's like it's just stuff that's common that I saw like in anime and everything, and I thought that was wanted to recreate that. Thought that looked cool. I'm like, that's what I see. I see that there. I want to do that. And then this is a page turner here. What's going to happen? She grabs her arm. What's going to happen? But yeah, that was fun. It was a lot of fun. And I was going to do a background here. I was going to do it, but again, just time. You got to time yourself, people. Can't spend all I got to do a page a day. You got to try to do a page a day, like a little page and a quarter. That's what I'm trying to do. And this was like done in a day. You got to do what you can in a day to get it done. Get those schedule is your best friend. And man, I'm having a rough time always with the schedule. But sometimes I'm finding myself. I'm like, hold on a second. Here. Here in my child. Thank God for 2025. We get cameras now. Just see into the room. Yeah, it looks like one of my little ones is up. I'm gonna pop off now. Thanks for 17 people. Awesome. Well, go back at Atomic. Links there, right there in the description on YouTube. Go follow my channel. Go to YouTube and go there and give me and subscribe there. Trying to get the YouTube channel up. Trying to do what I can, helping CG out. Trying to get some other campaigns on there and host some other people. Other than that, all right, I'll end the stream here. Night.